Hey everybody, it's Kyle. You know, I'll never forget the first time I talked to D about his daughter who's got classic autism, and she was terrorizing their home. She was biting, scratching, pinching, all the things that, you know, we all have to deal with, but she was just relentless. And she had gotten to the point where she would walk through the house or run through the house and grab her mom's hair. She would jump up and grab her mom's hair and pull her to the ground. And as I talked to D, you know, I said, well, how do you manage that? And he says, well, she doesn't do it to me. And I was kind of surprised. I said, who does she do it to? And she says, well, she does it to her mom and her teachers at school, but she never does it to me. And I said, well, why didn't she do it to you? And he said, well, I've never put up with it. Well, that kind of, I thought, you know what, that's not helpful, D. I mean, I need to know your process. What do you do? And he really didn't know. And I'll never forget as I started asking questions about, you know, what he said, his body language, really the approach he took, everything that went into it, we started to discover together an acronym that really has been a great insider trick for all of the people that we've worked with. And it's called PTSD, and it's not post-traumatic stress disorder, because I know a lot of parents with kids on the spectrum have that because there's so much stress. You know, a recent study in this year, as a matter of fact, concluded that homes with kids with autism in them, it's comparable to a combat soldier. And I believe it because we lived that at one point in our lives. But the PTSD was really exciting because we realized as we walked through and stepped through the exact things he did and how he held himself, you know, his body language, his vocal tone, everything he did, we realized that the acronym PTSD could help us with almost any situation, with any parent, with any child. So I want to tell you what that is. So it's not, like I said, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's patterns, triggers, strategy, and decisions. And let me explain to you, right? So we're all driven by patterns. We do things in patterns. And if you don't believe me, try drying off your left foot tomorrow after you get out of the shower first, and you'll realize that we do things in a specific order, and because it doesn't take any thought. And that goes for everything from driving to work the same way every day to like I said, how we manage our lives. 90% of it is just these patterns. And so we have to identify patterns that we're stuck in and realize what those patterns are before we can start changing them. And then the second thing is triggers. There are triggers that make us do certain things and say certain things, and maybe some of those are past experiences, maybe some of those are results we've had at one point in our lives, but we all have these triggers that we convert when things happen into an automatic response. And we've got to identify what those triggers are so we can change those too. The next one is strategy. Once we understand our patterns and our triggers, we can create strategies, and if you don't know them, we can help you on the insiders, but strategies that allow us to change how we manage those situations with our kids. And decision is to actually do these strategies in a state of love, in a state of kindness, in a state of caring. And it takes away the yelling and the screaming and the frustration and the discouragement. And this goes, I mean, patterns, triggers, strategy, and decision can go from everything from discouragement in your life to, I find some single moms who are just stressed out all the time, or they're discouraged, or they can get depressed, and PTSD, patterns, triggers, strategy, and decision, can change those for them too. So it's an incredible acronym. And I just wanted to share that with you because I talked to a lady yesterday who's decided to become an insider, and she said, what's one of the things I can do right now? And, you know, we talked about some of the strategies she always knew, but she had trouble implementing them. And so midday yesterday, we talked about PTSD, patterns, triggers, strategy, and decision. And we talked about the patterns that she's stuck in and some of the triggers that make her do certain things. and specifically in one area that her and her son on the spectrum were having difficulties with, and then applying that strategy and deciding how to do that. And I got a call from her late last night. I wasn't available, so she left a message, and you could hear it in her voice, that the massive change from that one strategy and walking through her patterns and triggers, applying the right strategy. She already knew what the strategy was, it was just hard to apply it. And making a decision to do these things in a spirit of love. She said her son was shocked. She was shocked at the outcome. And the outcome was that she took a situation that was normally very, very stressful for her and her family and lowered the stress in their home dramatically, immediately. And 10 minutes later, they were back to their normal business. And the feelings she got were overwhelming. I could barely understand her because she was almost crying on the phone because she saw it work immediately. So if that has any interest to you and you want to learn more about that, click on the link. Join us as an insider. We want to show you how to do this stuff. It's just one of the tricks and techniques we use. It's so powerful. It can make such a huge change in your life. We're seeing it happen every day. Have a great day. Let me know how I can help you. That's what we do. It's our mission to help other families lower stress and replace that stress with happiness and joy. It's happening in our family. We're seeing it in other families every day. Join us. We'd love to have you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.